after all that good shit, and he said no. But it was like the way he said it. And he put his head down, he was like, no, I've never been crushed like that ever in my life.
No, we not gonna get him no excuse, yo. That angle was get Beanie Sigel the fuck out this building.
Ran against ankles and everything, and the man was like, no. Like that was that I don't even like, that was just that fucked me up.
Beanie Sigel dropped the bombshell on Jay-Z on what may have caused the reef and beef between them, and the public is surprised about what they have learned. It turns out Jay stopped caring and taking care of his artist, and Beanie could not understand why exactly he had been abandoned.
Like, I thought that was sort of a funny comment.
Cool bullshit, nigga. You trying to deflect, and what nobody was asking Jay to do nothing for him.
Everyone was confused when Beanie and Jay started throwing shots at each other, since at the height of their success, r.kelly Records seemed like La Familia for real, as Jay-Z, Dame Dash, Beanie Sigel, and Memphis Bleek were riding high on the hog of platinum plaques and groundbreaking music tours.
After all that good shit, and he said no. But it was like the way he said it. And he put his head down, he was like, no, I've never been crushed like that ever in my life.
Well, as the saying goes, nothing lasts forever. Jay and Dame drifted apart seemingly due to Dame's inclusion of Dipset to their team, and weirdly, Beanie Sigel's relationship with Hav also became strained. And soon enough, as time passed, Beans ultimately dropped a diss track aimed directly at his former homie. In a recent interview on Nore's Drink Champs, Beanie opened up about his days on the rock and revealed the exact moment his relationship with Jay-Z began to erode, talking about how he was battling attempted murder and federal weapons charges in 2003 when a judge asked Jay if he'd be willing to be responsible for Beanie out in the streets, and he refused. Beanie said he was taken aback when Hav declined the duty, saying, "I never been crushed like that ever in my life. That fucked me up. That took away a lot of shit that I thought we had. Like, that's big, bro." Like it true that at the time Beanie was wilding and constantly getting into drama wherever they went, and also coupling that with the fact that Jay-Z was trying to get his bags and keep his business moving forward, it's not surprising that Jay would pass on such a task. Beanie claimed, looking back on the event, he understands why Jay would refuse to be held accountable for his actions, saying he believed at that time that Jay was thinking that he was unpredictable and was bugging, which he was, but he still didn't understand why Jay would flatly deny him. Beanie Sigel also dropped another bombshell on Jay-Z on what may have been the origin of the beef between r.kelly and the Lox that ran through the early 2000s. According to Beanie Sigel, it all started with Jay-Z's verse on R. Kelly's Fiesta remix when Jay-Z got on the remix, which Jadakiss was originally on, and the Lox thought Jay was subtly taking shots. The tension between the two collectives made their beef one of the most memorable at the time, with all the lyrical jabs and disses that were hurled back and forth. Beanie, in an interview with Vlad, said, "Kiss had that record. He was on that R. Kelly record. He didn't take a shot at me. Jay took a shot at them. After the party, it's the hotel lobby. And after the original, it's probably this." He continued, "It was a shot because it was a couple joints that they was on first, and Jay jumped on joints, and then you hear little stuff. We all know who the best is. Big ain't here, so it was a lot of Dark Storm." Both Styles P and Chic Louch have echoed a similar sentiment to what Beanie revealed in past interviews, saying the tension originated from Jay-Z frequently appearing on tracks that Jadakiss and the Lox already did. In an interview on Math Hoffa's My Expert Opinion podcast, Styles said, "Beans was like us, but from Philly, you already know what Hav and Damon they were doing, so that was more personal for me. Kiss and Hav kept being on the same remixes, and something happened. He claimed Jay-Z appearing on the same songs as Kiss, and it just felt like they were aiming at Kiss for him. He said, Kiss is our Derek Jeter. Where we from? You fuck with one of us. You fuck with everybody." In 2017, Chic said something similar to what the previous two had said, saying, "Beans and them were saying some shit lyrically because they were slick talking. Them Philly boys, they be saying some shit. So that's where I'd be like, oh shit, Styles get the guns. Where the fuck them boys record at?" Like it was that kind of situation. Eventually, after back and forth jabs and diss tracks, which also includes the fairly recent revelation that Styles P was dissing Jay on 1998's Reservoir Dogs, which may have helped kick off initial tension, Jadakiss and Beans squashed everything before it got out of hand during a meetup at Riverside Park in NYC in 2001. In the same interview, Beanie Sigel revealed that he didn't want Jay-Z to hear his 2002 single Rock the Mic with Freeway. He discussed how the single was created, along with its insertion on the State Property soundtrack in 2002. And when Vlad asked Beanie Sigel about whether or not he knew Rock the Mic was going to be a hit, he replied, nah. He recalled that he and Bleak were supposed to be working on a project together, and so they went down to Miami to Circle House, and it was while they were working there that he met Free. He continued, so me and Free was in there, and I remember I was in one room doing something, and Free was like, yo, I want you to come hear this record. He claimed since at the time he and Bleak couldn't get on the same page for some reason or another, so he went to listen to what Free was offering, and he ended up liking it. Beanie Sigel continued explaining the origin story behind the track before he revealed that he didn't want anybody to hear it, including Jay-Z. I didn't even want Jay to hear it until we finished it, Sigel said. I'm like, bro, nobody getting on this record. That joint was crazy. Beanie Sigel and Jay-Z had good chemistry together on stage, but still had a complicated relationship since from the get-go, prior to Beanie's 2009 diss track at Jay, the two had already had a falling out, and Beanie, although Jay did vouch for him, he was hurt that he also told the court that he was not responsible for him. Luckily, the two patched things up before the 2015 title-hosted concert, which saw them reunited on stage, and Sigel also admitted that even though he might have set things straight with Jay, he regretted not having an open discussion about that right away. He said, we ain't never had that conversation. I wanted to hear it from him, like, where was you at? There was a lot that weighed on me. That was fucked up to me. You got to have some kind of communication. Beanie Sigel also set the record straight about his song I Go Off, featuring 50 Cent explaining that it was not a diss track aimed at Jay-Z like some fans believed it to be. He explained to Vlad that the song came together after 50 tried to get him to sign with him once he was released from prison. He claimed he wanted to sign with G-Unit due to the issues Rockefeller Records was having at the time, and that at some point he joined forces with 50 Cent to record I Go Off, which he claims originally had nothing to do with attacking Jay-Z. That I Go Off was just a record that I had. I ain't have no hook on it, Beans said. 50 liked it. I sent it to him, he knocked the hook off. He continued saying it was not about Jay-Z the way people are claiming, but that even though the lyrics had nothing to do with Jay-Z, 50 Cent started talking crazy. Beanie said, not crazy, but you know they got that weird relationship. They don't F with each other, but then they F with each other. It's true, though, 50's relationship with Jay-Z is weird, and 50 always has something negative to say about Hov. And although 50 never mentioned Hov on the song's hook, he did save some space at the end of the song to take a shot at his longtime rival. Yeah, you changed, man. You let the money change you, Jay. 50 yells. You used to be from Marcy. Sigel also dove into how he first met and became connected to Jay-Z, citing his friend Bubonic of Philly's Most Wanted making the introduction, and that right after his first meeting with Jay, Sigel was given a record deal. He said that he was good friends with Bubonic of Philly's Most Wanted, and after a casual rap battle, he said that Boo invited him to tag along to a Rockefeller meeting. Not long after that, Sigel was given a record deal after meeting with Jay-Z and Too Short, who were in the middle of recording at the time. It seems the beef started over how Beanie had felt when someone he held closely as a fellow artist and homie abandoned him. Let's hope they have squashed their beef to the point where they would meet in the studio and cook up something for the fans. A fan on Twitter said, ironic how Jay-Z and Beanie Sigel squashed the beef, then hours later, NY losses Chink's drugs. Another said Beanie Sigel and Jay's should have did an entire project together. Anyways, let's not forget that this video is based on theories and my opinions and should not be considered facts. That's it for this video. Bye.